Hook opening lines asterisk, she sat on the park bench every evening. Always alone, always silent, always staring at the same empty swing. He noticed her the first time by accident, the second time by curiosity, and the third time by choice asterisk. He didn't know her name, she didn't know his pain, but somehow hope began to grow. In the most unexpected place between two strangers, and it saved them both. Asterisk. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Everyday Grace, where every story reminds us that even the smallest act of kindness can change a life. Let's begin. The girl on the bench. Autumn had painted the city in soft browns and fading reds. The wind was gentle, the air heavy with quiet, and the park, a place once filled with children's laughter, had turned into a haven for those who didn't speak much anymore. It was there that Emma came every evening. Same time. Same bench. Same empty swing asterisk. She didn't talk to anyone. She didn't even move much. She just sat, her eyes lost in the distance, her hands wrapped tightly around an old scarf asterisk. No one asked why. No one wanted to, but someone noticed. The man who walked in circles, Daniel, had no real reason to be in that park. Not anymore asterisk. He used to walk there with his wife before the illness took her away. They would talk, laugh, feed birds. The park held memories, but now only silence asterisk. Still, something kept bringing him back asterisk. It wasn't the trees or the air or even the memories. It was her, the girl who sat so still, who wore sadness like a second skin, who never cried but looked like she might collapse if someone just asked, "Are you okay?" The first words asterisk. For days he just passed by, a glance, a nod, a pause asterisk. Then one day he sat on the opposite bench asterisk and simply said, "Nice weather." She didn't respond, but the next day she looked at him asterisk. The day after that she whispered, "It used to be." That was the beginning. Strangers who held the same wound over weeks. Their conversations grew. Just a minute or two each day asterisk. She told him her name. Emma, he told her his. Daniel, she was 24, he was 52. Two different lives, two different losses, but somehow the same kind of emptiness asterisk. Emma had lost her little brother in a car accident. He was 6, she had been babysitting. Just turned her head for a second. That swing, the one she stared at every evening, used to be his favorite asterisk. Daniel had lost his wife to cancer, quietly, painfully, withering day by day in his arms. He had no children, no family left. Only time. Asterisk. 2 broken hearts sitting on benches in silence asterisk. But the more they talked, the less broken they felt. Small acts of hope asterisk. One day, Daniel brought 2 cups of hot cocoa. Another day, Emma brought cookies. Soon they were laughing. Not a lot, just enough asterisk. He gave her a book to read. She gave him a sketch of the swing asterisk. She started dressing warmer. He started shaving again asterisk. It wasn't love, it wasn't therapy, it was just presence. 2 people showing up for each other. After day. Asterisk. And in those small, invisible acts hope returned. When hope is tested, one rainy evening Emma didn't come. Daniel waited. 2 hours. The next day nothing. A whole week passed. Asterisk. He asked the local vendor. The man only shrugged. Asterisk. Daniel didn't know her last name, no phone number, no address. She had vanished. The bench was empty again. The swing still asterisk. The hope that had once lit up his days began to fade asterisk. Until on the 8th day he saw a note taped under the bench. It read, "I'm in the hospital. I didn't know who else to tell. But if you're still looking, I guess that means I'm not alone anymore." A small scribble below it. Emma, room 203, Mercy General, asterisk. The day they found each other again, Daniel went that very evening. She was pale, thinner, tired, asterisk. But when she saw him, her eyes filled not with tears, but with light. "I didn't know if you'd come," she said, asterisk. He just smiled. "You saved me first, asterisk." She blinked. "What?" Daniel sat beside her and held her hand. "You gave me a reason to keep walking and talking and feeling asterisk." She said nothing, but her grip tightened asterisk. And in that moment, nothing hurt. Time heals with company asterisk. Emma stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. Recovery therapy, rest. Daniel visited every day. When she got out, they didn't go back to the same bench. They found a new one, near the lake. With more sunshine. She started working at a community art center. He began volunteering with grieving families. They still met every evening, sometimes with hot cocoa, sometimes with just stories, no expectations, only presence, only hope. Final message. Sometimes we don't need a hero. We don't need answers. We don't even need to be fixed. We just need someone to sit with us, to listen without judging, to see us when no one else does. To give us the smallest seed of hope, because hope isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It shows up quietly and saves two people just by choosing to stay. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Everyday Grace. Let's keep sharing stories that remind the world. Kindness isn't weakness, presence is power, and hope, no matter how small, can save a life, even two.